The college basketball experience preview and picks for Tuesday night, aka Super Tuesday, March the 4th edition on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go over to edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future, throwing a March Madness party on top of it. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for details today. Welcome, everybody, into the college basketball experience preview and picks, baby, for Super Tuesday, March the 4th. Get a little solo Mac tonight over here to start the episode. They're taking too fucking long over there at the main Sports Gambling Podcast, so I was done waiting. I told you we're going live at 2:45. Here we are, and let's fire away as they go through the Patriot League. I got them on in the background. But yeah, I can knock out the recap. I watched all the fucking games and I was one game over 500 for the night, but you guys waited long enough, so it was time to fire away once we got to 2:45. I guess I should introduce myself. I am Moneyline Mac, aka the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. The taste of March, baby. I hope everybody's having a good night. Monday, added some slates here with the Big Sky. We had also the A-Sun quarterfinals. Big Monday was a banger. Just overall a good night in the sports, including maybe the worst beat of the college fucking basketball season in that final game of Montana and Eastern Washington. Hope at least you guys are on the right side of that one because I want to throw up. Scott Van Pelt's got to add that one. So let's talk recap, and then Colby will join. Let me text him right now to say that we just fired away. And then we'll do the recap here, and then Colby can join, and we can fire away on futures and the Super Tuesday card. So, let's talk. Let's do this recap. First up, let's start in the A-Sun. Let's start with the A-Sun quarterfinals. We had Jacksonville erasing an 11-point lead. They complete the season sweep over Eastern Kentucky. Like I said, they were down 11 in this game. Robert McCray goes for 26, 10, and 5. The guy's a fucking beast. Back-to-back years now that the Dolphins have ended Eastern Kentucky's season. They will advance, and they will take on North Alabama, who absolutely rolled Austin Peay. There was a handshake line. There wasn't a dust-up. I was a little disappointed in that. But I give North Alabama looks like a wagon. That's my pick to win the league. I had them beating Lipscomb in the final when we projected the bracket. I got no reason to come off my North Alabama pick. Tony Poole doing an unbelievable job there. And Jakari Lane, you better fucking learn the name. 31, 2, and 3. Unreal. North Alabama, Jacksonville, Thursday night in Florence. And by the way, that environment is top notch. So looking forward to the North Alabama, Jacksonville semifinal. In the other game, Queens defeated Gulf Coast for a third straight year. It was lit at Gulf Coast. Queens went in there. Grant Leonard and company finds a way. Back and forth game. An absolutely fun game. But I didn't realize this was the third straight year that Queens has eliminated Gulf Coast here. So Queens is moving on to the semifinals where they will take on Lipscomb. Lipscomb took care of business. They did not cover. So Colby and I actually went 1-3 in the A-Sun. So disappointing night in the A-Sun for picking games. But Lipscomb wins by 18 again against Central Arkansas. It kind of felt like a repeat of the previous game. So Thursday night, we'll get Lipscomb Queens in a semifinal. Reminder, Queens went to Lipscomb and beat them. So this is going to be an interesting contrast in styles. Queens has some athletes. I think they can bother Lipscomb. And then North Alabama and Jacksonville will be a fun other semifinal game. So looking forward to Thursday night. And then the final will be Sunday afternoon. And we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, ASUN, always a banger. And then tomorrow we got the Patriot League. We got the Horizon, and then we got the Sun Belt, a.k.a. the Fun Belt, tipping off here. So, yeah, conference tourneys locked and loaded. Let's talk Southern and FAMU. Colby and I think it depends on the number that you got in this game. Southern defeats FAMU 73-70. Southern continues to be a wagon in this league, in the SWAC. 14-2 now. They continue to just roll. FAMU, they're going to be a team chippy there in the conference tourney. 10-7. Patrick doing a good job. So shout out to the Jaguars for continuing to roll. And other SWAC games here tonight. We had Texas Southern roll Alcorn State. We ate shit on this fucking game. I don't know what else to tell you. This game was never in doubt. Texas Southern kind of hit Alcorn in the mouth. Alcorn's been a darling of ours, but they did not cash. Texas Southern blew them out right from the get-go. So good win, Texas Southern. Been an up-and-down team. I guess you could say that maybe it's March, and Texas Southern's going to start rolling. But, yeah, good win, Texas Southern. Bethune pulls away and wins for Colby and I. Covers the 3.5, 4.5. I think it closed at like 5.5, 6. But they beat Grambling 78-71. So good win for Bethune, Reggie Theus and company. And that gets me to the finale in the SWAC. Jackson State drills Prairie View 88-74. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have a lot of analysis on that game. So if you got any thoughts on any of the SWAC games, throw them in the chat. Shout out to the chat. You guys are alive and well for 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's head over to the MEAC side of things where we had a pair of banger games. All right, first off, I don't know how Howard did not cover this number. This game was back and forth the entire game. Howard, South Carolina State makes a pair of free throws to cover this game. South Carolina State is now tied for first with Norfolk State and has the seventh longest win streak in the country at 8 games now. They are sitting at 10-3 in league play. And if you look at it, Norfolk State drops back-to-back games. They lose a thriller. I don't know if you guys caught the North Carolina Central Norfolk game. Unbelievable atmosphere Monday night in the fucking MEAC, man. Norfolk goes down back-to-back, loses at South Carolina State on Saturday, loses at North Carolina Central tonight. And we're going to probably have a share for the conference title here in the MEAC. So shout out to Lavelle Moden. Colby wins a lock battle. I never should have went against my 5.5 number, but I trusted Norfolk State, and it was a bad play on my part. Eastern Shore drills Coppin. I told Colby he can thank me later for not fucking betting Coppin. So, yeah, shout out to Eastern Shore for 13-point win. Coppin is fucking horrible. No further analysis needed. Morgan State wins the fourth and final, 87-81, and that will do it for the MEAC. All right, let's pay the bills, and then we can talk Southland, and then we can also talk Big Sky, and then we'll talk about the standalone high major games. Duke rolled tonight. Houston was able to hold on against Kansas. A lot of good games here. Wichita, North Texas was a banger. But first, let's talk about SGPN merch store, baby. Promo code Madness for 20% off in the SGPN store. Get in now before the promo code is done. If you want this fucking camo hat, get on over there and use our promo code Madness for 20% off. Or if you want to eat shit Pitt shirt, and Pitt's not going to make the fucking dance, so give them a little love, and yeah, that'll be the most action that they get this March. So get on over there, buy yourself an eat shit Pitt shirt. Buy yourself a Pick Dundee shirt. There's a lot of good shit over there. So get on over there to the SGPN merch store. All right. We are also brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost Premier Visa Debit Better Cards. You can play DFS, Sportsbook, Sweepstake. You can name it. Plus, you can earn $750 per month in the cashback rewards for users with Edge Boost card. And your money is safe as the card is insured. I mean, you don't want to get bounced over there at the fucking ATM. So get on over there and use our Edge Boost. Sign up today and use the promo code SGPN so you can get a better cashback rewards and instant tier 2 status. My code here is edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie. MyBookie is the OG. We've been using them for years and years, and they revamped their whole app. Easy deposit, lightning fast payouts with crypto. Go on and on. Accepts customers from a ton of locations. So get on over there to MyBookie. And if you want to bet on some of these conference tournaments, I encourage you to go over to MyBookie. Use our promo code, though, TCESGPN. I mean, fuck, it's right above my head with Underdog. So TCESGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 and a $10 casino chip. That's mybookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. Cheers, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Monday evening. Let me fly around to the chat before we dive into some more games. That one fucking weirdo was talking about Colby's dick. That's fucking weird. Trevor, no, Colby and the SGPN guys decided to do the longest show of the goddamn year. So I got tired of waiting, and Beanick is dead. He's at Magic Kingdom. I think Mickey Mouse fucking captured him. So I'm firing away. I had enough. You guys, it's 2:45 in the morning. I figured we would fly through the recap so we can get to the picks earlier and the brackets. So, yeah, we'll be done here in no time, and then Colby will hop on. I see them on the horizon in the background. So, yeah, trying to do you guys a favor so that we don't go until 7 o'clock in the morning. And I think everybody can co-sign that this is a good idea for me to just knock out this recap alone since I watch all the games. Okay, let's go over to the Southland where there was fucking madness. So the final night of the regular season, Sela entered with a easy path. All they had to do was beat the Mexicans. They would have locked in the 4 seed. Houston Christian had a trip-up game, a game that we thought fucking stunk as well, going to Commerce. They both go on the road and lose. The Mexicans beat Sela 77-76 right at the buzzer. That knocked Sela all the way down to the 6th seed. And with that stupid-ass bracket that I showed everybody last night, where you get a double bye for the 1 and 2 seeds, and then 3 and 4 get a single bye, that's a big loss for Sela as they drop now to the 6th seed. So they're going to have to play in the first round and win 3 games rather than 2 games. Houston Christian locks in at the 8th seed. Northwestern State, the biggest beneficiary tonight, they beat IDub. They get all the tiebreakers to break their way. They're the 4th seed. So Rick Cabrera and company and the Demons are going to be the 4th seed in the Southland. The 3 seed is going to be Hitler, Nichols, because they dropped the game of the night. They blew a first halftime lead to Lamar. Lamar rallies. Alvin Brooks doing an unbelievable job here. For them to get the 2 seed in this league, and I've mentioned it, man, the Southland is way up compared to previous years. I can't remember having 6 teams in the Southland within the top 250 in the country. You look at it last year, everybody was 300 or worse. So not only is McNeese is a different animal. They're a juggernaut. They fucking pay for players. They are running it like a high major program with Will Wade. But Lamar's up, Nichols is up, Corpus Christi's up, Sela's up, Northwestern State's up, even IDub is up. Houston Christian, for God's sake, is up. So this is going to be a good tournament. I think McNeese will ultimately win just because they have high major players and they bought that team, so they should win. But nevertheless, a story like Lamar getting the 2 seed in a really good year, I tip my cap to Lamar. That's a game ball worthy. In my opinion, rallying to beat Nichols, a.k.a. Hitler. And then McNeese, speaking of McNeese today, I was all over that one. I know I'm doing a shitty job of recapping our bets, but I'm just trying to fly through these games because I know everybody's ready for tomorrow. I I hit on McNeese. I knew they were going to get up for this smash spot. National TV game, last game of the year. Stephen F. is still a big brand. They beat their ass by 31. McNeese is unbelievable. Actually, I think I ran the table in the Southland. Yeah. No, I sorry. I got cute. I went 5-1 in the Southland. My only miss was I took New Orleans in the gambling scandal. And they lost to Corpus Christi by fucking 33. But I hit on Lamar laying the short number. I hit on Commerce as a short home dog. I hit on the Mexicans. Colby swayed me. Or actually, I think Jeff Matthews swayed me when he said they were eliminated. And I hit on Northwestern State. I hit on McNeese. So 5-1 for Southland for me in this league. Good. I had to make up for it with that 1-3. Ended up having a decent night, one game above 500, thanks to this stupid-ass league that we're about to talk about. Big Sky action, a.k.a. Starch Madness. And real quick, shout out to you, John. I appreciate it. I'll take my game ball, and I'll cheers to you, my friend. All right, let's go over to the Big Sky. This league is fucking fantastic. I love this league. I can't wait for the tournament. I'll get to the worst beat of the goddamn season potentially in this final game. But let's talk who clinched the regular season. Northern Colorado and Montana split the Big Sky Championship. Northern Colorado did not cover. Weber, hey, watch out, Weber. Weber all of a sudden covered like 5 out of 6 coming down the stretch. But nevertheless, Steve Smiling Company, 23-8. Great job this year. They're going to be the 1 seed in Starch Madness. Now, they got to break the curse because the number 1 seed has been losing the first game of this goddamn bracket over and over and over again. So it's a tall task here for Northern Colorado. They're going to draw the 10 seed or whoever they draw, and they need to find a way to get the win, unlike David Riley and E-Dub over the last couple of years. So tip of the cap, Big Sky champions, Northern Colorado. And then the other games, there was an upset in this league. It was Northern Arizona knocking off the Bengals of Idaho State. This line fucking stunk. I'll blame Colby on this one. His hatred for Northern Arizona, he sprinkled that fairy dust on me. So I went with him on this one. And it was the wrong side. Good win for Northern Arizona. Game didn't mean anything for either. The other game that really didn't mean much, Montana State rolled Idaho, the other Idaho in this league. Portland State also was trailing for a majority of the game against Sac State. They rallied to win 59-56, not even close to covering. So a good night for the Dogs for the most part. I think, 3-2, 4-1 ATS? And that gets me to the finale. Montana E-Dub. So Northern Colorado's in with the win column. They beat Weber State. Montana's got to win to get a share. Montana gets punched in the mouth. Games on ESPN 2 or whatever. I talked about it last night. The line stunk. Made no sense why it wasn't 15. What was E-Dub's largest lead in this goddamn game? I need to look for my 19-5 to start the game. Had a halftime lead. Tie game with 3.5 minutes. They lose by 11. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This has got to be candidate for the worst beat of the freaking night. They kept fouling, and then on top of it, the cherry on top, the stupid dumbass misses a goddamn point-blank layup to lose by 9. Then they don't foul, and I'm just like, wow, that was tremendous, tremendous. So you lose a game like that, everybody, right side, right handicap, take a swig, take a shot, whatever alcohol will numb you. Ridiculous. What are they on now? What fucking league are they picking? Green Bay? Oh, Green Bay. That's the Horizon. So, yeah, he'll be over here in like an hour at this fucking rate. But, yeah, shout out to Montana. They never wavered, I guess. And I don't know how they covered, but they did cover. So, a shout out to them. All right, let's talk spotlight game. So, all right, we'll talk about the elephant in the room. Wake Forest, completely joke of a no-show. Season on the line, and they got absolutely embarrassed, dismantled, had Duke in a great spot schedule-wise, Carolina on deck, it didn't matter. Even NC State was able to cover this number in the look ahead. Wake's a joke. I like Duke. Don't get me wrong. Duke was very impressive tonight, but I think this is a joke that Wake didn't even show up tonight. Wake's last 5 games, this extends the Duke game. Notre Dame should have lost on Saturday, won by 3. Virginia at home lost by 8. They were an 8-point favorite. NC State on the road, 3-point favorite. SMU was their actually big win, and then they lost to Florida State. This is the same goddamn story over and over again with Steve Forbes and company. Like I said, you didn't have to win tonight. You could at least show up and not lose by 40. That's a joke, and that team is completely quit. We can take them off the bubble bracket, whatever we want to put them on. They get them out. Get them the fuck out, because they are not a bubble team, and they can bitch about the metrics and all that. Don't lose to Virginia. Don't lose to NC State. Don't lose to Florida State. Don't get blown out by 50 to Duke on national TV. So I don't want to hear Wake Forest fans bitch that they're not in the tournament and the metrics are against them. No, you suck, and that was a joke the way they finished the year. Duke, on the other hand, another good game here. They're on a covering machine right now. Flag goes for 28. He was impressed, 28, 7, and 7, I think. This team's on a roll. They go to Carolina here on Saturday, the big college game day game. Can Carolina knock them off to get in the dance? We'll see. We'll talk about that game all week, because I know that game's going to get a lot of buzz, because everybody's going to talk up North Carolina in the situational spot. Win, you're in the dance. Lose, you probably got to get to the ACC final. Duke, on the other hand, they pretty much have penciled into a 1 seed. They'll be in the Raleigh region, so they'll get to play in the state of North Carolina the first 2 games, and then they'll probably go to Newark for the region. So, we'll talk Duke Carolina later in the week. Dukies are now 27-3, 18-1 in the ACC, and Wake Forest is eliminated. All right, moving along here in the other standalone games that we did not get to, because I kind of went league by league here. We also had a great game in the AAC, and I hit on this one, so I ate shit with Wake. But my handicap on Wichita, North Texas, I think was right on the money. That game is always a 2 to 4 to 5 point game. Wichita had a 4-point lead with 11 minutes to go. North Texas punched them in the mouth, 16-4 to start the game. Really good game, high quality game. Shout out to North Texas finding a way to grind that thing out and winning. Aiden Wright goes for 21 points. He was impressive. And North Texas remains 1 game back of Memphis. I don't think Memphis is going to lose, because their schedule is very soft coming down the stretch. And but North Texas still can get the 2 seed. We were robbed by the AAC, by the way. Memphis should have to play at North Texas. The fact that they fucked that up is a joke, because North Texas had to play at Memphis. We're not going to get a true champion. If Memphis and North Texas play in Denton, I probably would take North Texas. Maybe Memphis could win a game like they did against UAB. But the fact that we don't get a home and home with those two is robbing this league of a true champion, unfortunately. Memphis will probably win the league by default just because they don't have to play in Denton. But, it does suck that we will not at least get to see that game and make Memphis earn a true championship here by having to win at North Texas. So North Texas is awesome, and they're going to be a pain in the ass in that tournament. 22-6, 13-3. They got an identity. They got seniors. Ross Hodge, he's going to be a high major coach. On and on and on. Good program. So I see the SGP show just ended. So Colby will probably join here any minute. He said he'll be here in 5. All right. I can kill 5 more minutes. I got another ad read. And I can break down Kansas. No, I won't go Kansas, Houston yet. I'll go UCLA, Northwestern. Boy, I'll tell you what, man. Chris Collins and Northwestern do not quit. And that was my big takeaway. They were down 14 with 2 minutes left, and I basically turned the goddamn game off. 68-54, 2:15, and Northwestern goes to a press, and it completely gets UCLA out of sorts. Northwestern, they're very limited. They're down 2 starters from the beginning of the year. UCLA, far superior roster. Northwestern had to have the game to stay in the bubble contention. I give them all the credit in the world for fighting. I mean, this team is a well-coached team, and the way that they continue to fight shows more and more about Chris Collins, in my opinion. But UCLA gets a nice split here in the Midwest tour. They lose at Purdue Friday. They win here against Northwestern. UCLA in a nice little spot here, 21-9, 12-7. And I love I like this UCLA team, to be honest. They have gotten better and better. They seem to be getting an identity. They got size, they're physical, and I think that this could be a team that maybe could make a deep run in March. Second weekend, maybe even a Final Four if they get a great draw. So good win for UCLA, 12-7 in league play as they continue on here in their first year in the Big Ten. Oh, yeah, and from a covering standpoint, so yeah, UCLA did cover, but they called an intentional foul to get them to cover. So yeah, I'm kind of recapping the game and doing a shitty job, honestly, of recapping the cover. Everybody knows if they covered or not. They have the goddamn app, but that was a questionable call, to say the least. That got UCLA over the hump. I mean, I think UCLA was the right side because they were up 14 with 2 minutes left, but that press had them all fucked up. I mean, Northwestern had the ball to tie the game with 2 minutes. So just an unbelievable game altogether. And that gets me to the finale. We did win on Kansas. Those bastards should have covered. I gave out plus on the pregame show. I gave out plus 250 on the money line for first half. They should have hit that. They gave up a layup at the end of Houston to give Houston the 3-point advantage there, and then they fouled Houston as well. So Kansas came to play tonight. Kansas, Bill Self called out his team indirectly after the game against Texas Tech on Saturday. I knew this was going to be a hard game for Houston. Emotional. You guys saw Kelvin Sampson in the pregame with Juwan Roberts tearing up senior day. This is why I hate laying big numbers with big favorites on senior day, because they're all fucked up with the emotions. They usually start slow, and that's what happened here. Kansas had the lead in the second half. I'm not going to say Kansas was the better team tonight. I thought that they were evenly matched. Houston just made enough plays down the stretch, and I thought the double team really bothered Dickinson. How many turnovers? Dickinson had 7 goddamn turnovers. I mean, you're a goddamn 5-man, and you have 7 turnovers. You can't have that and win at Houston. But I was impressed with Kansas's fight, I guess would be the right word. I guess Kansas is in the mode now where they're taking moral victories. It's pretty pathetic how bad they've been this year for Kansas standards, but you give Houston a bunch of credit too. That those guards of Cryer, Uzon, and Sharp, they didn't make shots tonight. I mean, what they finished, I guess they still ended up 7 of 20 from 3. It felt like they couldn't throw it in the ocean. But every 50-50 ball, and I keep saying this about Kansas, why they can't win. Every 50-50 ball was Houston's tonight down the stretch. Every game where you got to fucking nut up and make a play, Houston made the play. Whether it was Juwan Roberts, whether it was Javier Francis, every single hard ball on the floor, offensive rebound, went Houston's way. And usually Hunter Dickinson was right there, and he just didn't get it, which has been Kansas in a nutshell. And that's why they're 19-11, 10-9 in the Big 12, and Houston's 26-4 and 18-1 in the Big 12. That Kansas, you can make the argument Kansas should have maybe swept Houston, but Houston is simply tougher than them. They stole that game at the Fog because Kansas couldn't inbound the ball, and then tonight Kansas couldn't get the lead back because they couldn't keep them off the glass. So in the end, Kansas softer than Charmin, and then Houston tougher than a weekend with your in-laws, as Rossing used to say. So Colby should be here any minute, so let me hit the ads one more time, and then I'll do game balls if he's not here by then, and then we will go into futures, and then we will go into the Tuesday preview and pick show, but we are also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is throwing an epic March Madness party, and you all are invited. Rhythm users are invited to a First Four watch party March the 19th. That's Wednesday at Awesome Stadium Swim at Circa Las Vegas. Free drinks. Get on over there. And, you can sign up with a 7-day free trial over at the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And come by and hang out with the guys at Sports Gambling Podcast, the college experience. It is the night before the round of 64, a free entry or free party, plus a chance to win $250 future bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, baby. The promo code is TCESGPN to claim a special pick plus first-time deposit. Offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. That's Underdog Fantasy. Promo code TCESGPN. Welcome in, Pick Dundee. God damn, I'm fucking good. I got that shit timed up perfectly. Did the whole big cap, and I knew it was like it's like Stockton and Malone. I knew when you were coming in, and I just hand it right off to you. So
there we go. Hopefully you're Malone.
I kind of want to be Stockton too. Malone's questionable.
How you guys doing? I appreciate people waiting for the late start time. I've probably had this Fireball. I'm not Fireball's all right, but I mean, this made the trip from LA. So this thing has been in my freezer in LA all the way over here for a good amount of time. So I would say multiple years, probably maybe a year and a half ago. Cheers. I had another winning night. Did you?
By one game. Yeah. I talked about it. Had potentially maybe the worst beat of the season in that final game.
Oh, in our battle, you're saying?
That was ridiculous. But overall, yeah, I finished with one game over. Bad in the A-Sun, great in the Southland. Okay.
My A-Sun. Look, I was up. I was 3 games, so I made like about 300. But if you add in the futures I lost on the A-Sun, it wasn't the greatest on that. It was both my futures got cooked. So in that regard, not the best bracket for me in the A-Sun there. Let's jump into before we get to the games. Let's go through the conference stuff. I put them all here. We'll get to the games chronologically, but let me see if I can. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hang on. Let's go back to this. Back to this. Game balls. Where are you going? Game ball 1.
Let's go Queens. Did you know? So we talked about the revenge game. They beat them 3 straight years now.
Dude, Gulf Coast, they got it. I've been defending Chambers. I mean, that team was too talented to give this type of performance, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Some of that's got to be on him. Good game ball there. Yeah, a team that was D2. They were D2 3 years ago. Yeah. I got to give the Jacksonville Dolphins one, and our boy, Robert McCray, absolute dog, 26 points, 10 boards, 5 assists, dude. And I had to do, so I was a guest on an Ohio State podcast tonight. So I had to do like an Ohio State football podcast and a college basketball as a guest as a college basketball show. So when I was watching this game, EKU was fucking them up, and I have it on the TVs here, but I'm talking, and then I look up and I'm like, wait, Jacksonville is up by 6 with it was like a minute left. Unbelievable win. What a great second half. But what the hell happened there?
Jacksonville just got the momentum, and then it kind of was North Florida and Austin Peay of last night. Like, they just couldn't get the momentum back. They kept getting stops, and then EKU was taking bad jump shots, contested jump shots. And once you know how it is this time of year, once you get that momentum, man, body language starts creeping in. You can kind of just see some of these teams are like, all right, let's start thinking about fucking
48 points in the paint to 32.
Yeah.
Game ball for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Where are you going next?
Yeah, EKU was banged up too, but yeah, that was tough losing that 11-point lead. Dude, real quick, Jacksonville has EKU's number. 4 in a row against them now. They beat them 3 times this year and last year. Unbelievable. Game ball for me, I know they were a heavy favorite. North Alabama gets a game ball because that place was on fire, and they fucking beat the shit out of Austin Peay to the point where Austin Peay had to shake their hand this time.
That's a good one. Well, I gave this away last night. Sprinkled the money line. Watch out, because Lavelle Moton's boys are playing better. NC Central, let's go. Keyshawn Porter. I'm telling you, man, they're at. I know me and you like kind of pigeonholed South Carolina State and Norfolk as these teams that like it's going to be epic. And Delaware State is I think penciled in to be the 3 seed. Central can fuck with all of them, dude. I'm not saying Central will run the table, but they're good enough to clip one of them.
Did you see that crowd tonight?
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
That place was lit, man. Where do I want to go? My final game ball. I'll go Northern Colorado. 1 seed in the Big Sky. They weren't projected to get there in the preseason. So Steve Smiley and company, I know they didn't cover, but still, it's a regular season championship, and you get to be the 1 seed. They got to break this streak, though, because the 1 seed's been cursed in Starch Madness. E-Dub lost back-to-back years there, so it might be a curse that they're the 1 seed now.
That's a good point. Game ball. I'm just gonna say Duke. Oh my God.
Oh, I already went off on Wake Forest about how big a joke they are to society.
Oh my God. I'm sitting there at halftime being like, I'm in a good spot to cover this. I think Duke will rest the starters some of the second half. Once they get it up to 17, Wake Forest will backdoor this thing. No. They were down 40 at one point. Oh my God. Game ball to Duke. They keep fucking up all these teams, dude. I'm not taking the opposite side of Duke for a minute till the tournament at least.
You're going to take Carolina on Saturday. Don't lie.
I just have been getting fucked up by them. I'll be honest. I'm getting fucked up by Carolina too. We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Game ball. Let's get to tomorrow's action. We got slides, folks. YouTube.com/the college experience. Hop on over there. And as I try to figure this thing out, no. Why does this change every time? What happened to there we go. So we have the Horizon League tipping off tomorrow. So we threw up this bracket here. And if you're wondering about the odds, they're all right here. Robert Morris is plus 240, Milwaukee plus 270, Cleveland State's plus 310, IPFW is plus 650. The Penguins of Youngstown State are at plus 750. The Pioneers of Oakland at plus 1400. The Vikings of Wright State plus 1600. The Norse of Northern Kentucky plus 3000 there. And how about the Ooey Pooey squad at plus 20,000? Green Bay and Detroit. Detroit just being disrespected. Buddy, am I crazy to think? Well, my first thought was let's jump on Milwaukee plus 270. But if I don't know that a long shot is an option. Maybe you could say Campy. Maybe you could say Wright State. But I was thinking just Milwaukee and IPFW, sprinkle both. You're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I have Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee is the best team, and the 1 seed won it last year, which is rare in this league. So it ain't going to happen again. Robert Morris will get picked off in this tournament. I like Milwaukee and their experience. I like Bart Lundy. They've been knocking on the door back-to-back years. They made it to the title game. They were right there last year. I do think that ultimately Milwaukee is going to win it with their size and physicality. I think they can win 3 games and win that first one on campus and then grind that thing out at the neutral site for the last 2 games. But if I am going to take a little bit of a long shot, I do like Fort Wayne because of their shot making ability. And I think that they're a very experienced group here, and John Kaufman and company, where they've shown flashes. But I mean, Colby, Oakland and Northern Kentucky are always tempting in this tournament.
Even Wright State, I think. I mean, to me, the cutoff is at Ooey Pooey, Green Bay, Detroit. I don't think have a legit chance. But I mean, like if it would not shock me if Northern Kentucky or Wright State or Oakland went on a run again.
No, not at all. I mean, in Northern Kentucky quietly won 5 out of 6 down the stretch, 7 out of their final 8. So they're kind of playing their best ball, and then you can't count out Campy. Both teams kind of play a zone, so it's going to be a unique matchup here. But both teams also have to win tomorrow to get to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so I'm going to sprinkle. I've already bet this, but I sprinkled Milwaukee and I sprinkled IPFW.
I'll do those two, and then I have to throw a 30-1 on Northern Kentucky.
I like it. So. Next, we jump over to the good old Patriot League, and hopefully you can see this. And maybe I should have zoomed in. But the Patriot League tips off tomorrow. The Patriot League tournament. Loyola, Maryland, Lehigh. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. Lafayette, Holy Cross. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. But the odds are right there. Bucknell plus 110, AU plus 270, Colgate plus 350, the Midshipman plus 1600, BU, Boston University, the Terriers plus 1600, Army. We thought they were going to win this thing. Plus 3,000, Lafayette plus 5,000, Lehigh plus 7,500, and the Greyhounds, to our favorite tomorrow, plus 10,000, as well as Dave Paulson and the Crusaders at plus 10,000. Call me crazy, and this is one where you're asking probably what's the value here. I'm going AU plus 270 and Colgate plus 350, and they're both on the south side of the bracket, so I think they'll probably end up playing each other, and then you'll have a ticket on the winner. I thought about potentially taking Army, but I just don't. They've been so all over the place down the stretch. I can't get there. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I mean, God, I've loved Bucknell and John Griffin, but goddamn, plus 110. That's pretty telling that they're this much of a favorite now. And then you got Colgate, the track record. I'm definitely taking Colgate. I think Colgate actually is going to win the tournament. That was my hot take going in the year, that they were not going to win the regular season, but then rally to win the tournament. Matt Langle and company, they always seem to just get better and better throughout the year. So give me Colgate plus 350. And if I want a long shot here, Lehigh always gets up in the tournament. Brett Reed's been there, done that. If I want a long shot, we've seen Lehigh over and over. They had preseason expectations, had some injuries. Give me Lehigh as a long shot, 75-1. But yeah, I think Colgate beats Bucknell ultimately in the final. Yeah. I'm just going American Colgate. The winner of that, I think they're going to end up playing each other. Winner of that is my shot there.
Next, let's jump to the belt, the Sun Belt, with their stupid ass bracket. Which by the way, pay attention to this bracket. And I know the Sun Belt logo I actually put over I moved it, I guess, when I wasn't paying attention. But JMU is the 2 seed. Mac, make it make sense. Ready? They're the 2 seed, but they're plus 380, and this is the bracket with all these fucking bye weeks. So fucking stupid, man. I have to take JMU just because you're telling me once again to go back to the bracket. They are going to be in the semis.
Yeah.
Why would you not? Why would you not take JMU? I'm gonna sprinkle JMU, and then I'm gonna sprinkle Texas State, and it's kind of the same logic as the AU Colgate thing. Is I think Texas State, who plays early on in this madness, we just recently App State's lost 3 straight, so if Texas State's able to clip Old Dominion or Louisiana or ULM, which I think they will, I think they're just a much better team than those schools. App State has looked kind of iffy lately. Texas State's beaten the 1 seed twice in 10 days, right? Then they would get Troy, which I do think Troy is a tough test, but at that point you're if they were able just to win one game, they're not projected to win. I think then they'd be playing JMU, which then you'd have action on both of those. Are you on these Troy Trojans? I will say this: South Alabama and Troy might have the home edge there in Pensacola.
I'm interested to see what we get with the home court, just because Pensacola's not really that close to any of these. I mean, they are somewhat.
I think it's close to South Alabama.
Yeah, but their fans aren't that good. That's the only thing with the Fun Belt. So I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to take the two best teams that I've thought all year, and yeah, they got to play an extra game. But I think Arkansas State and Troy are 1-2, the best teams in this league. I know they got to play an extra game with this foo-foo fucking bracket. But I think they're that much better. And I think the lines are telling you that they're that much better. Arkansas State lost in the championship last year one of Brian Hodgson. I like Scott Cross's group. I've been on record with how much I like Troy and Scott Cross. So, yeah, give me Troy and Arkansas State to meet in the finals, and I'll be there sitting there with, a 2-1 ticket and a 4-1 ticket?
You know, the best teams never go to the championship game in the Sun Belt.
Well, they're not the 1 seed, so that's why I think they're going to get there. The two best teams are the 4 and 3.
Even
seeds.
Though they're all tied, you're taking teams that all tied for the championship.
I think it's karma that the teams that got screwed on the tiebreaker get to the finals in the fucking bracket. So let's go, Ark State and Troy. Now we do got to take a long shot on one of these teams.
I think Texas State's that long shot, man, and they've had a track record of being pretty fire in the Sun Belt tournament. I think. I mean, look. I mean, there's a second page too. By the way, hang on. You want to jump on over there?
The third day. They don't even play till the third day. That's it.
I don't think there's any value in any of these 4 on the second page here. Maybe ODU, I guess, out of those 4.
No. I was talking about I was looking at the bracket because Texas State and Georgia State are 7 and 8, and they have, yeah. If you're going to take one from one of the first 2 days, would you agree Georgia Southern's the best one?
Yeah, I would. But because I mean, if you would have asked me that 2 weeks ago, I would have said State. Oh wait, State's not playing in that though, right? It's Southern.
State.
Yeah.
Southern is probably going to play State. So Southern's path. I'm trying to make a case that somebody wins like 6, has to play 6 games in 6 days. I think Georgia Southern's that team because they would have to play Georgia State, then they would have to play Marshall, and then they would get Arkansas State, and then ultimately South Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a dumb bracket. I'm kind of excited for the games though, just because I think no one's that much better than anyone. I do have an App State shot glass there. So best wishes with the Mountaineers.
So Texas State is your long shot from the first 3 days they got to play.
I just think they beat the 1 seed twice in a 10-day stretch. Now, some of that was their home edge. Yeah. But I still just think they've done this a couple years in a row where I feel like they win a couple games in the Sun Belt tournament. So, yeah, why not?
I'll go Georgia Southern. I'll stick with Georgia Southern and Charlie Henry. They almost knocked off App State last year in the 8-1 game. So that'll be my long shot. I had to get 3 in here. So give me Ark State, Troy in the final. But if I want a crazy one, Georgia State 350-1.
There we go. Going. Georgia Southern, not State. You can I do believe you get your ass kicked saying that.
Yeah, they fucking. I just watched that game on Friday night. That shit was good.
Yeah. All right, now let's jump into the games, man, because we're going chronologically on these. Georgia is heading to Columbia, South Carolina, where Blue Cane and the Dogs, can they stay red hot? Nope. I am locking up South Carolina -1. I think it's 1.5 now. What are you doing here?
We can get a 1 out there. Yeah. The Gamecocks are turning into the bubble buster.
Eliminator. Here. Yeah.
Fucking SEC. They beat Texas at home. They beat Arkansas at home by a zillion. I like the Gamecocks again. We said it over and over again. Don't get fooled by that 2-14 conference record. They are really good at home. They bought in. Letdown spot for Georgia. Let's go. Let's go, Cox.
Double lock on these Gamecocks. Next up, we got New Hampshire catching. What? What?
Lock.
I have to take these points here. New Hampshire hasn't been that bad lately, man. I know their record says 8-22, but they've played some. They just lost by 7 to a good Maine team. You know, they knocked off an Albany team that we've started to respect more and more. They knocked off UMass Lowell. I'm going in. Wildcats. Plus the 18.5. Wildcat. You in?
Yeah, to tell you a little more, Bryant is playing for the outright championship here. So first time in a while, spotlight, all the pressure on him. Too many points. Give me New Hampshire. Bryant wins by 9.
Double lock on New Hampshire to Wildcats. Next up, UMass Lowell is in Orono, Maine, taking on these Black Bears. Maine's laying 2.5. And why should we not bet? I mean, is this a little stinky to you?
Yes. I kind of like Lowell because of the number. Lowell's playing better though. I mean, they beat Bryant basically. They won the other night.
I'm going to take Maine. No bet.
And then what was that first meeting? That was an
Maine
overtime.
won by 1. But Maine's been pretty fire at home though, dude.
They have been. Is Maine playing for anything? I mean, other than Senior Day?
That's what I say.
Reseed. UMass Lowell. UMass Lowell for me.
Betting it?
I'll pull the trigger. Revenge. They lost a tough one to them the first time. I think Lowell returns the favor here. Revenge.
I'm going to battle you.
There we go. We'll get a battle here.
Let's go. We got a battle in Orono. Dundee on the Black Bears. Mac on these Riverhawks. Next up, we got the Chanticleers. This is part of these. This is not in Hattiesburg. My apologies. I was, spacing out. This is, I thought I did the Sunbelt logo too here. I don't fucking remember. I'm on Coastal though. This is in Pensacola, Florida. I think, look, Southern Miss lost 8 straight games. I know Coastal's 2-8 in their last 10, but at least Coastal's starting to be a little bit more chippy. I think Coastal's the play. I think if you're going to play this, you play it on the money line. No bet. What are you doing here?
I'll bet Coastal. So here's my logic on it. First year head coach.
I just said this on SGP. Yeah.
I think they're buying into Gray. Like I think they're playing for him versus
other guys out the door, right? Other guys out the door.
Fired. And like you don't lay points in this league.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
Coastal wins outright. We'll take the points.
Double lock on these Chanticleers. I think it's plus 125 on the money line right now. All right, next up we got Bowling Green and the Kolb. What is this number?
No bet. I saw this number. I said, you can't make me bet this one. This line fucking stinks.
I'm taking BG no pick or no bet. I'm sorry.
BG no bet. I'm with you. It should be like 5 or 6. No thank you.
Yeah.
Plenty of other games.
LSU is catching 12.5 at Rupp Arena against the Kentucky Wildcats. Obviously, news came out that Jackson Robinson is out for the year. I'm actually going to lay it.
Really?
I just feel like Kentucky's due for a blowout at some point.
Do you want to battle? Because I'm going to bet LSU.
No, I don't have strong conviction.
I have enjoyed taking LSU as a dog. That thing, in my opinion, that score was misleading the other day at Mississippi State. I mean, that was a lucky ass cover by Mississippi State. They covered for like 10 seconds out of that game. I think LSU hangs in here again, probably loses by 9.
Ah, man. I'm staying away because I just feel like after you just got beat down like that at home, you want to send a message to the fans. I'm staying away. You're locking this?
Yeah, I'm on LSU.
Moneyline Mac, I say, we Tigers. Shout out to the great Ed Orgeron. Next up, St. Louis And as Sean said, that fat blob of mayonnaise, Robbie Avila is going into the UD Arena. Dayton's laying 6.5. I'm going to take the points here. Actually, Dayton's looked like shit recently. I don't know that I'm going to bet that, but I think the points, like Dayton has not looked good to me at home in their last couple outings. No bet though, because the momentum in that fucking place can get you.
Ginormous game. Both teams. We got like a 4-way tie at 10-6. Dayton beat them at St. Louis in a desperate spot, but I think St. Louis is playing better basketball than Dayton.
They are playing better basketball right now.
I'll lock St. Louis. I think we get a 1-possession game. I'm not scared of Dayton this year. I keep going against him, and it hasn't been bad.
All right, let's go. 6.5. Even if Dayton wins, maybe it's by 4 or 5. Let's go. Pelicans plus the points. Next up, the golf course is hosting NJIT. I think we should bet the golf course.
No bet. I'll lay it. I don't know. I don't want to bet this one.
I'm laying it with the golf course. I mean, NJIT is yet to win a road game, but can Binghamton improve their seating? That's the only thing. It's senior night though, man. I feel like they're going to win by double digits, but
they should. But
yeah,
you should bet.
Next up, we got Rutgers at Purdue in West Lafayette. Purdue is laying 10.5. Huh. Give me the points. No bet.
I'm gonna lock up Purdue. I think this is a bait. They didn't stay out in the Midwest. They went all the way back. They're headed back to the Midwest now. Back and forth, a lot of travel. Purdue got right finally. I think that this is a bait. I think Purdue rolls by 15 plus.
Moneyline Max said, "Boiler up, boiler up." Hey, did you do both ad reads already?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We're home free, baby.
Okay. Michael Crichton, the Blue Jays of Crichton are heading into Newark, laying 9.5 against the Hall. Now 10.5. I'm seeing it went up a point since these slides were made. I'm gonna lay it. Unless you could sell me otherwise. I'm not betting this fucking game though, but what are you doing here?
This Creighton just beat them by like 30 here.
I got a feeling that it might be because the St. John's a get up game. Should we? Yeah, I almost feel like we should pull the trigger on.
Creighton also, what did they're coming off a loss at Xavier. I kind of think that they blow out Seton Hall here.
I think so too. Let's bet this.
Yeah, let's go. Creighton.
Worst of the number, 10.5, but shop around. Maybe you can get a 10. Play it with these Blue Jays. Next up, we got Akron at Toledo. Rivalry game in the MAC. Akron laying 5.5.
Should we pull the trigger on Toledo?
I was thinking Toledo's the side. I mean, because Akron's already clinched, right?
They have a share at least.
Yeah, give me Toledo in the points. And no, they got Buffalo next. Akron does, so they've won the thing.
Yeah, and they're off Kent. Last time, like the first time they played, Toledo was up double digits at half, and they lost by 7.
Should we bet Toledo?
Yeah, I'm all over Toledo. Yeah. I think they knock them off here.
Double lock on these Rockets at the Savage Arena. Damn right. Shout out to our boy Dan Savage.
Toledo has lost 4 out of 5 out of 6, and they just lost by 13 in Buffalo.
Sprinkle that money line.
Oh yeah, buy low.
That money line. Yeah. Next up, we got Central Michigan heading to Muncie to have the whole world in the palm of your hands and then blow it. Is this line a little fishy? CMU's in 10th place in the MAC. They're at the 8th place team in the MAC, but yet CMU, the 10th place team, is favored by 3.5.
Dude, they love CMU. I'm not betting it because, to your point, it reeks. No bet.
Yeah, give me CMU, no bet.
Yep.
Next up, we got the Hurons of Eastern Michigan headed to Athens, Ohio to take on these Bobcats. This is too big of a number, man. Like, I like the way Ohio is playing right now, but this is a big ass number. Give me EMU in the points.
I'll lay it. No bet.
Yeah, no bet. Next up, we got Kent State and Kalamazoo. Make sure you check out Waldo's for the liquor pitchers. So Western Michigan beat them in the first matchup. Yeah. Yet Kent is favored by 7.5. Lay it.
Should we bet Kent?
I don't know, man. I don't like this Kent State team. I mean,
they're good on the road.
I think it's the right side. But
I'm gonna lock up Kent. I like them on the road. Bounce back. They were good at Akron the other day. They were a better team for 35 minutes.
All right, let's go. I just hate laying that big of a number in the wacky MAC, but okay.
Baby.
Double lock on the Golden Flashes. There we go. Next up, I got a bet for you. Memphis is heading to the Alamo Dome, where David Robinson used to roll up those fucking socks of his. Right? UTSA is getting 8.5. I'm locking up UTSA plus 8.5. It's a great spot. Sprinkle that money line. What are you doing here?
I'm locking up UTSA. This line stinks. To your point, like UTSA is getting less than double digits.
This got
this got backdoor written all over for UTSA. They looked good the other day. They'll make some shots here. They'll lose by 6.
Double lock, meep on these road runners. Next up, VCU is heading into Pittsburgh, laying 9.5 against the bet detective CJ Sullivan's alma mater. That's a big number, man.
Hold your nose.
Big number.
I am locking up Duquesne.
I was about to say, give me Duquesne in the points too. Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'm. Wait, VCU's clinched, right?
They're up a game. They got Dayton on Friday night for where they can clinch senior night in front of everybody. They're coming off all these big wins. This feels like the sleepy spot for VCU. This one.
I'm going to stay away, but give me Duquesne.
Give me the Dukes. VCU wins by 7.
We got a lock for Moneyline Mac and the Duquesne Dukes. What's that?
Duquesne's playing well, too.
They are. They are playing better. Next up, we are going to Burlington, Vermont, where Vermont is laying 5.5 points against these Albany Great Danes, and the 8-game winning streak for Vermont. It's senior night. The cups of fucking hot chocolate. You know, they're gonna be sitting there in their fucking turtlenecks, drinking hot cocoa, eating on a goddamn granola bar. We should lock Vermont.
What's up with this line?
I mean, Albany's decent. They're in 4th place.
Good point. I was like shocked that this wasn't 7.5, 8.5.
I'm going in. System play.
Yeah, we'll be squares.
Double lock Vermont minus 5.5. Next up, we are going to Buffalo, New York, where the Redskins of Miami, Ohio are laying 8.5 at Buffalo. Lay it. Buffalo's off a win against Toledo. Lay it. What are you doing here?
Should we bet Miami of Ohio?
I kind of think they're going to drill him, but I don't know. I'm just laying it. I'm staying away. I hate laying big points in the MAC.
Yeah, you're right. No bet. I trust Kent more to drill them than Miami of Ohio.
Yeah. Next up, North Carolina's in Blacksburg. Mike Young is coming back. Hubert Davis is coming back. What the fuck's happening here?
Everybody's back.
Yeah.
Carolina go lose.
I actually think Carolina's the right side. I think Virginia Tech is not very good. I mean, the only thing that can get me, but I asked Kramer, I said, well, because these crowds have been so pathetic this year.
They'll get up tomorrow night.
He disagrees. He thinks no one will be there. He goes I guess the thing he subscribed to on whether it's Discord or Reddit or whatever. He's like, they're all pissed off that Mike Young's back. I'm going to battle you.
I'm going to fade Kramer's Discord. Let's go. Give me the Hokies. Nobody wants the Hokies tomorrow.
Battle. Carolina's been fucking me up fading them. Dundee on the Tar Heels. Mac on these Hokies. All right, next up, the Canes of Miami. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Heading to Atlanta to take on Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets. I'll give me 9.5 points is too much. I don't like laying that. Give me the Canes plus 9.5, but no bet.
What is this number?
I mean, the money line is really live here, though. I mean, these teams are the same, right?
Yeah. How about Georgia Tech is quietly 9-9 in the ACC? That's a sign of how bad the ACC is. That Georgia Tech's 500 in this league.
I don't know. Give me the points. No bet. I'm not betting this fucking game. It's hard to get a read on who the hell is who.
Hasn't Georgia Tech actually been kind of fucking teams up, though, at home? I feel like they've actually been a decent, pretty big favorite. Yeah. I'll take Miami, no bet. I'm with you. I don't want to trust Miami. They're checked the fuck.
Yeah. I mean, look, I see the guy in the chat. Shout out to Top 20 Louisiana Law. Georgia Tech upset Clemson. Yeah, but they also lost to Boston College by 20 points. They're all over the place, man.
They seem to be playing better ball, is what I'll say.
Lehigh is in Baltimore taking on Loyola. This is what I find hilarious. The odds for Lehigh to win the championship are better than Loyola's, but yet Loyola is favored in Baltimore. It
makes sense.
I'm actually taking Loyola, though. I don't feel good about it. I'm laying the 1.5. What are you doing?
I'm locking Lehigh. Lehigh always pops up this time of year, baby. New season, they had preseason expectations. Disappointing year. I think it's a reset here, and I think that they come in and they beat Loyola. So, yeah, give me Lehigh.
Money line mag locking up Lehigh, the Engineers. Next up, fucking Holy Cross. Man, this is too big of a number. Stop. They're getting 6.5 in Eastern Pennsylvania. I mean, look, I understand Holy Cross lost 3 straight, but you know what happened 4 games ago?
They beat Lafayette.
And they beat them, I think, by no, it was just 5. Okay. I'm taking fucking Holy Cross and the points. And yeah, I'll lock it. Give me Holy Cross and the points. What are you doing here?
I'll join you. Give me Dave Paulson. Let's go.
Double lock on the Crusaders. Next up, we are going to Rochester, Michigan, where the Oakland Pioneers are taking on the Green Bay Phoenix. Green Bay's catching 11.5, and I thought I was doing the SGP, so someone said you can get a 12.5 out there, but I could be wrong. I didn't confirm. Either way, I'm taking Green Bay and the Phoenix, but I don't know that I should bet this. You can talk me into a bet.
They just played them fucking.
They should have won. They should have won that game.
I want to let's bet Green Bay.
Yeah,
I kind of think they're gonna be live in this game.
Didn't the line seem like bullshit though? Do you?
I think everybody just wants to fade fucking Gottlieb.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Double lock on the Phoenix. Next up, the Detroit Titans. Now this line, make sense. All right. So Northern Kentucky is laying 12.5 against Detroit. You know, they played on January 30th. Detroit won by 11.
Yeah, I know.
What is this fucking number? I'm taking the hospital and the points. It's just too many points. I think Northern Kentucky is going to win the game, but that's a big ass number. That's a big ass number. Detroit's not. I mean, they lost 7 straight, but they're not fucking horrible. Not like a year ago. I mean, this is a Detroit team that lost to Cleveland State by 8 just a week ago. They did get drilled by Milwaukee, but I mean, they've been respectable in some of these outings. I'm taking the points. What are you doing here?
I'm locking up the Norse. I think the Norse are going to drill them. I think the Norse have won 6 out of 7. They have found their identity here, and Green Bay or Detroit's just so banged up. So the hospital will be out of session here.
Moneyline Mac, locking up the Norse. Next up, we're jumping on over to a big one in DC for the Villanova Wildcats. Nova is laying 3.5 at Georgetown. Yes, Georgetown's roster is quite depleted, but it's an interesting spot. I don't think this place will be lit though. You know what? Give me Villanova minus 3.5. I can be talked into a wager here.
I want to bet Georgetown.
Really?
This is Villanova's final game. They're back on the bubble all of a sudden. Isn't this such a Neptune spot to fucking drop one? And
Georgetown has like a 7-man rotation though, dude. Like that shit's got to be getting worse. You know,
I think Cooley can out coach him here on a couple days of prep. They're off a disappointing game against Marquette. I think Georgetown's going to win. I think this is going to be the stunner of the night, and it's going to be like, really, Neptune, you drop this game to get off the bubble?
I'm staying away.
I like him, Georgetown. Give me Cooley as a home dog.
Moneyline Mac locking up them Georgetown Hoyas. Now I will lock this. Baylor's laying 3.5 at TCU. I will lock up Baylor minus 3.5. TCU got them the first time. Baylor cannot afford to keep losing these games. They're going to play their way out of the NCAA tournament. You lose this. They got to win this.
Yeah, I love Baylor here. Return the favor. I think their zone will mess with TCU because they can't make a jump shot. And then Baylor's guards will get them across the finish line. They win in Fort Worth. TCU wins in Waco for whatever reason over the last couple of years. Baylor rolls them all.
Double lock on these Bears.
I'll get there.
Yeah. Texas is catching 7.5 in Stark Vegas. Give me the points. I think it's the right side. I think
it's totally the right side.
I know. I actually think like the money line's live.
Yeah, I mean they have the more talented roster. They're getting 7.5. They just dropped a fucking home game where now everybody's wrote them off. I'll lock up Texas. I hate Texas. Hopefully they lose by 2.
I'll join you. Give me the 7.5 with the horns. You know I hate Texas, but you got to take them here. I feel like. All right, next up, Temple is at Tulsa. Tulsa's lay at 1.5. Of course they are. I'm gonna lay it. No bet.
No bet. I'll lay
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no bet.
Next up, the Metros of IUPUI heading to Fairborn, Ohio to take on the Wright State Vikings. Wright State's laid 8.5. They just played. When? The other 2 days ago.
Yeah, Nui Pui beat them.
Yeah, I'll lay the points with Wright State. The line's telling you.
I think Wright State's fraud. I'll lock a Bowie Pui.
I'm actually going to battle you here.
There you go. Give me a Bowie Pui.
Yeah.
They're playing harder right now.
I mean, the line makes zero fucking sense here. Let's go. Where the fuck is this? There we go. We got a battle in Paraguay. Dundee on the Vikings. Mac on the Metros of Ooey Pooey. All right, next up we got Louisiana Monroe, the Bayou Classic. ULM taking on Louisiana in Pensacola, Florida. We should bet Louisiana. They're playing better the second half. They're like the past couple weeks. Shouldn't say the second half.
I refuse to lay points in this bracket. Give me Monroe.
I'm going to lay the points with Louisiana. Next up, Auburn is in College Station taking on A&M. I am locking and I am betting the money line on Texas A&M. Here's a cheers buzzsaw. I've been getting my ass kicked recently. Money line play, Buzz. Let's get it done. What are you doing here?
Yeah, all over A&M. Losers of 4 in a row. Buy low spot senior night. Wade Taylor and company. You'll get a prideful effort here from A&M. And I think they're going to storm that court when they win. So down goes Auburn.
Double lock. Ride the money line. Gig 'em.
Next road spot, too.
This one at Rupp, too.
And they clinched.
Yeah, I'm saying there's so many angles going against it.
Yeah.
San Jose State's in Fort Collins taking on Colorado State. The Rams are laying 15.5. I'm actually going to lay it. I think they're going to fuck up San Jose State here.
Been fucking everybody up, haven't they?
Yeah. Nick Clifford been dog. What are you doing here? I'm not betting this though.
Yeah, this is stay away.
Yeah.
Lay it.
Saudi Arabia State's in Charlottesville taking on the Wahoos. Virginia's laying 4.5. I'm going to lay the 4.5 with the Wahoos, but no bet.
I'm going to bet Virginia. I think that they're playing much better than Florida State. I think the line's telling that it's not 2 or 3 here. Virginia make some shots here on their final home game for Ron Sanchez.
Moneyline Mag locking up the Cavaliers, the Wahoos of Virginia. Next up, we are going to Eugene, Oregon, where Oregon is laying 6.5 points, and I am locking up the Oregon Ducks minus 6.5 against Indiana. My thing is, as much as Indiana's been out there, normally like the second game, I think Altman's found something here. I think, just in general, Altman around this time of year, his teams start rolling. I'm laying it. What are you doing here, Mac?
We'll do battle. Give me Indiana. I think they found something too. I think we get a close game. I don't know if Indiana wins, but they still are playing on the bubble as well. And I love taking the teams on the second leg.
We got a battle in Eugene. Dundee, quack, quack. Mac on those Hoosiers. Keep this lock train going. BYU is catching 8.5 in Ames. Nope.
Blowout.
Yep. The physicality of Iowa State is going to be an issue. Iowa State wins by 19. Lay it. Double lock.
Yeah, Iowa State 87, BYU 72. Iowa State, baby. Let's go Hilton.
Syracuse is at SMU in a classic. SMU's laying 12.5.
We should bet SMU. They're gonna fuck them up, aren't they? This is a front runner spot.
I'm not gonna bet. I'm not gonna lay 12.5 with a shitty SMU team. I'll just take SMU.
I'll lock SMU. They're gonna win by 40. Syracuse quit.
Moneyline Mac locking up the SMU Mustangs. Next up, Nebraska's catching 6.5 in Columbus, and I will take the 6.5 in Columbus. What are you doing here, Mac?
Bubble game, baby. You ready for this game? Both teams are like the last 4. We should bet Nebraska. Fade Diebler is a favorite. He's terrible as a favorite, and Nebraska just lost to Minnesota at home. I trust
the money line's live too, dude.
Yeah, I absolutely.
All right.
Hoiberg,
go Big Red. Double lock on the Cornhuskers plus 6.5. West Virginia is in Salt Lake City taking on the Utes with your boy Josh Eilert. A chance to deal a little revenge. Oh, you didn't hire me? What a great storyline. Give me the Utes minus 3.5. No bet because I can't hit anything in WVU games. That's the discipline. What are you doing here?
Utah by 10. Lock up the Utes.
It's the play, right?
Yeah.
But if I bet this, I'm going to lose, right?
Yeah.
I'll let you do this.
Yeah, I'll block it. Josh,
Monette line, Mac, lock up the Utes of Utah. Next up, Boise State's laying 15.5 in Colorado Springs against Air Force. Give me the Falcons to cover this one. Boise wins by 12.
This is a tricky spot for Boise. They've been playing all these big games. Give me Air Force. No bet. No bet. I'm staying away from these big Mountain West games.
Not me, because when I see Nevada laying 1.5,
big lines, I should say.
Okay, I'm all over the Wolfpack here. Steve Alford, we did peyote. All right, bring it home. Nevada, you in?
Do you know they've lost to New Mexico 2 straight times by 1 fucking point? They had them beat at the pit. They're gonna
senior night too.
Yeah, they're getting up tomorrow. We'll see the old Nevada tomorrow.
Double lock on the Wolfpack. Let's go. Next up, the Wyoming Cowboys are laying 2.5 at Fresno State. I will take Fresno on the money line. You can talk me into a lock potentially.
I had this one circled. I said I wasn't taking the big spread. I didn't mean I wasn't going to take the small one. All over Fresno, baby.
This is hilarious. Double lock on Fresno State. Play it on the money line. What's that?
I don't trust Wyoming away from Laramie.
Yeah. Arkansas is at Vanderbilt. I am locking up Arkansas plus 6.5. Spring on the money line here. I like a Texas A&M Arkansas money line SEC parlay. A&M Arkansas money line parlay. That's gonna hit. That's gonna fucking hit.
Calipari's been really good in this building too over the years. So I know Vandy hasn't been as good, but I mean they've had a couple decent teams. And I think Arkansas will be healthier tomorrow night. They need this win as well.
God damn it! What the hell's happening with my phone? I'm trying to enter this before I forget. What the fuck is happening here? Yeah. Let's get to that. Yeah, I mean, another thing is Calipari is like his teams win games on the road, like big games.
Yes,
we saw him win at Texas, win at Kentucky. You saw it last year as he won at who was it? It was Auburn. It was Auburn last year. Sorry, face recognition shit.
These 2 11 o'clock games are interesting.
So let's just do this right here. Where is this A&M game? Okay, so fuck is this game? All right, A&M plus 200. And Arkansas plus 225. 50 American. We'll get you what? Jesus, what the fuck am I doing here? $50 is going to get you just short of 500. Let's go. Yeah, love that play. San Diego State is laying 3.5 in Vegas, and I am locking up San Diego State. UNLV beat them in San Diego. They're coming off the rivalry game. Love Dutcher and company here. San Diego State wins by 7. What are you doing here?
Yep, cosign. I like the Aztecs tomorrow as well. It's culture time. I trust San Diego State.
Double lock on these Aztecs. Next up, we got Arizona State, the Dust Bowl, the Territorial Cup. They're catching 17.5 at Arizona. Lay it. I don't have a good feeling on this. I mean, normally in a rivalry game, you're supposed to take the points. I just think that I've been getting my ass kicked with Arizona State.
I'll lock up Arizona. Arizona State's quit. Pour it on.
Moneyline Mac locking up the Wildcats of Arizona. W-I-L-D Wildcats. W-I-L-D Wildcats. And that is our show, folks. Good Lord, it's 4:12 in the morning. What do we got going here? We got best plays of the night. Man, what the fuck is going on with my shit? Okay. 5? What should we do? 5?
We can do 6 because there's so many good games.
All right. I think 2 of my 6 with Arkansas and A&M. A third will be Iowa State. A fourth will be at number 4. Give me that Kent State play you're talking about. At 5, Baylor. And at 6, the Nevada fucking Wolfpack. Fire.
All right, I'll go Iowa State, I'll go Texas A&M 1. They're going to beat Auburn tomorrow. Iowa State rolls by 15 plus tomorrow, 2. Nevada beats New Mexico 3. Arkansas picks off and upsets Vandy 4. Texas bounces back 5. And Nebraska also bounces back 6.
There we go, folks. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The college basketball experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Sorry for the late time where it's March Madness, so we're just doing a shit ton of shows, and we'll try our best to do it promptly. Yeah, please, youtube.com/the college experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. Tell a friend, because we rock all year. Just dropped a college football episode today regarding Bowling Green action. Check it all out. Scotty left there. We talked about some stuff there. Check it out. And the college baseball experience and the FCS college football experience. And obviously this one, and check out the Sports Gambling podcast as well. Till tomorrow night, folks. This is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins, over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a brighter day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 and a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit, and I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. When I start the program and the doorbell ring, I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celly's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. American dreams, lessons, and still they work. I guess the sand on the beach still was really dirt. Now I'm going home, flying over Rome at 30,000 feet. Like, damn, is that really Earth? I see the killers work on walls, familiar turf. Got a little school in graph, 101 was first. Got a little school in math, didn't really work. But put the numbers on the block and I make them hurt. Any block is my stomping ground where my people lay low so they can't be found. They don't wanna be, ain't from the crew, but I'm honoring. Liquid, soul assassin, no harmony. Type of armory that's more than a shield. Type of armory's DeLorean steel. Type of warrior's ill. So true to my sound, but dig deep so it can't be found. My celly's off so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every